You know, in the world of AI, we always seem to celebrate the lone genius, right? That brilliant coder who builds the next big thing all by themselves. But what if we're looking in the wrong place? What if the true titans of AI aren't just building products, but something way more powerful? Entire ecosystems. Look, in a field like AI, it's so easy to get caught up in the race for recognition. You're probably asking yourself, how do I get my name out there? Or how do I become the go-to expert in my little corner of the world? And hey, those are good questions, but maybe they're not the right questions.
Because here's the thing, a reputation, it's kind of fleeting. It's all about you right here, right now. But a legacy? Well, that's different. A legacy is about what you build for other people. It's about the knowledge you share, the connections you help create, and the impact that lives on long after you're gone. And that is the kind of influence that truly matters.
And that is what we call ecosystem leadership. It's this fundamental shift from trying to be the smartest person in the room to building the smartest room. It's about going from being a solo act to being the conductor of an entire orchestra. That's where the real magic happens, folks.
So why should you even care about building a community? I mean, really, what's in it for you? Let's dive into our first section here and take a look at why a thriving ecosystem can be your single greatest professional asset. This slide right here just absolutely nails the difference between expertise and relevance. See, expertise is all about what you know, but relevance, that's about whether anyone else cares. When you build a community, you're not just showing off how much you know, you're proving your relevance because smart people are willing to invest their precious time with you. And trust me, that's a total game changer.
And think about it this way. If you have a community of, say, 100 people, and each of them has a network of 100 people, well, you've just multiplied your reach by 100. That is the incredible power of the network multiplier effect. Your community becomes your army of evangelists, spreading your ideas and bringing all sorts of new opportunities your way. It's basically like having a superpower.
Okay, so let's say you're sold on the idea of building a community. But where do you even start? The good news is it's not some crazy secret formula. The very best communities all share 5 key ingredients. So in section 2, let's break them down.
First things first, you have to forget AI for everyone. That is a surefire recipe for a super boring, totally unfocused community. Instead, you've got to get laser focused. AI for dentists? AI for dog walkers? I'm not kidding. The more specific you are, the more magnetic you'll be. People with shared problems are desperate to find each other. Be the person who brings them all together.
And let's be crystal clear about something. A mailing list is not a community. A community is a living, breathing thing. It needs to be fed. And you know what the food of community is? It's engagement. So whether it's a weekly call or a monthly forum, you absolutely need a regular rhythm to keep people coming back for more.
So why do people actually join a community in the first place? To learn. And you know what? The absolute best learning almost always comes from peers. So your job isn't to be the sage on the stage. It's to be the guide on the side. Create opportunities for your members to share their own stories, their wins, and yeah, even their failures. That's how you create a community that people will never, ever want to leave.
You know, every great community has a great leader working behind the scenes. Someone who isn't afraid to roll up their sleeves. Someone who's there to welcome the new members, to spark interesting conversations, and yeah, to keep the trolls at bay. This is the unglamorous but absolutely essential work of community building. And it's what separates the good communities from the great ones.
Let's be real for a second. Your members are busy people. They have a million other things they could be doing with their time. So you have to make it worth their while. You need to ask, what's in it for them? What are they going to get out of being here that they can't get anywhere else? If you can't answer that question clearly, you're pretty much dead in the water.
All right, so you know why you need a community, and you know the key ingredients that make a good one. Now for the really fun part. In section 3, how do you actually build one? This is your step-by-step guide to launching a community that can honestly change the game. Remember, building a community is a marathon, not a sprint. It's all about starting small, with just a handful of true believers. Then you throw a killer launch party. You get your communication channels, like Slack or Discord, humming, and then you start to build a real movement. It's a slow and steady process for sure, but trust me, the payoff is huge.
Okay, your launch event. This is your big first impression, so you really don't want to blow it. Keep it short, sweet, and absolutely packed with value. Tell people why you're all here, give them something interesting to chew on, help them actually meet each other, and then tell them what's next. It's a simple formula.
but it works every single time.
So you've launched your community. That's awesome. Congratulations. But don't pop the champagne just yet. The real work is just getting started. Now you have to keep the party going. In our final section, let's talk about how to sustain that engagement for the long haul.
Think of this slide as your ultimate cheat sheet for community success. On the left, you've got all the good stuff: deep learning, real connections, a sense of ownership. On the right, you've got all the things that kill a community: generic content, a cold atmosphere, and just stagnation. Your job is simple: live on the left side of this chart.
And please, please, please forget about how many total people are in your community. That's a vanity metric. It doesn't really mean anything. What you should be obsessed with is how many people are active, how many people are showing up week after week, how many are contributing their own ideas, and are people actually collaborating with each other. That's the real measure of a healthy community.
So here's the bottom line, really. A community isn't a product that you just build once and then you're done. It's a living, breathing thing. And just like any living thing, it needs to be cared for. You need to listen to it, you need to feed it, and you need to let it grow. The best community leaders aren't architects, they're more like gardeners. So, when it all comes down to it, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep chasing that fleeting glory of just having a reputation? Or are you going to roll up your sleeves and build something that actually lasts? Something that'll outlive you? Something that will truly change your corner of the world? The choice is yours. What ecosystem will you build?